welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Girion, this is Uro-Geddon. Basically, the story here is Girion had the thought enter his head of Uro-Geddon, just the words Uro-Geddon, and then tasked me to build a deck around that idea. So here we are. Uro's in the deck, Armageddon's in the deck. Mission accomplished. In all seriousness, I built an Armageddon deck probably like 4 to 6 months ago on the channel, and what we learned from that exercise is that mid-range and control decks want more lands, not less. Yet here we are with a control deck with 2 Armageddons in it. We got a Ravages of War and an Armageddon. Same card, different names. What I've done to mitigate this is put a bunch of mana dorks in the deck. These can accelerate the get-ins and also leave you with real mana afterwards. I've got 4 Noble Hierarch and 2 Delighted Halfling. These things also help power out powerful 3-drop Planeswalkers on turn 2. We can cast the front half of Uro earlier. Light from the Loam is in this deck, which can be cast off of Mana Dork. It plus 1 land to start rebuilding after a Geddon. Teferi can instant speed Geddon. Didn't quite max out, but played a lot of this one. And then Triumph from St. Catherine is a cheap threat I can deploy in my control deck for just 2 mana. This thing can arrive. That's the wisdom of all the choices here. Outside of the Geddons, we're basically just going to try to get good exchanges from our opponent and then pull ahead on our card draw engines like Teferi, Uro, Loam, Lorien Revealed, etc. And that's the deck. I am worried about playing a mid-range or control deck in a format with Sowing Mycospawn, but if I'm out here destroying my own lands, then Mycospawn can't hurt me anymore. That's what I'm telling myself. Let's play this league. I'm on the play in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. I've got some Hierarchs to do stuff. It's a turn 3 Lorien Revealed if we're goldfishing. I'm likely to brainstorm that away, but we'll see what actually happens here, what my opponent's up to. Opponent went to 6. And the cool thing about Mana Dorks is I can be disrespectful about Wasteland, because unless they're playing like Gutshot or Fury, they can't kill my Wasteland and my Noble Hierarch in the same turn. I guess Dark Ritual Smallpox would have done it pretty hard, but we don't talk about that. I'm going to brainstorm first. Some more Hierarchs, a removal spell. I don't need this Tundra. I could just put this island away, play 2 Hierarchs right now, and hope that they're alive next turn. I'm going to do that. I came to cast Noble Hierarch and chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Bubblegum. I am worried about this basic swamp, though. I might just get Tendrils out here. They could Entomb Reanimate. Okay. There's an Atraxa. Can I overcome this? This is clearly Mono Black Reanimator. A lot of basic swamps revealed. We've got Troll of Khazad-dûm, Barrow-goyf, Snuff Out, Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Bitter Triumph. They took Swamp, Snuff Out, Thoughtseize, Barrow-goyf. The Snuff Out is interesting. And then they get to discard a hand size, Dauthi Voidwalker. Okay, so they have a mid-range plan as well. Alright, I am going to play my Wasteland, use it to cast Lorien Revealed. The turn 3 Lorien Revealed Dream is alive. I am looking for Swords to Plowshares right now, and we did not get it. I did find Teferi, though. Except not really, because it's about to get Thoughtseized. Bummer. I mean, turn 3 Lorien Revealed is pretty exciting, even if we're losing this game. I will take it. Yeah, there's the Thoughtseize. Goodbye, Teferi. And the damage begins. I have outs to this situation. I play a bunch of Plows, a bunch of Teferis. Uro could buy me some time. Ponder, Brainstorm, both dig for Swords to Plowshares or Teferi. Voidwalker makes Uro worse, but I have an answer to that ready. Yo! Okay, Prismatic Ending. White, green. Make sure I cast it with 2 colors. Swords to Plowshares. We did it. Play my land. I do play Surveil lands in the deck, and I'll attack for 4. And if they want to snuff it out, they can also just take 4. I'm going in with Halfling because the mana is worse on this thing, and this deck's not going to have counterspells. And they did take the 4, either way. But they've gained 14 from their Atraxa shenanigans. Okay. We know they have a Barragoyf to follow up, but stability has been achieved. Entomb? Chill. Please just cast Barragoyf. I can beat an Animate dead. Reanimate's a lot worse for me. I can still counter the trigger. I'm going to Surveil in response and see what I come up with here. I have basically all colors available. Teferi Time Raveler, put that on top. Consign this trigger. Dark Ritual. Alright, are we also Goyfin? Yeah, we are. Okay, Teferi, I need you to solve this problem for me. Okay, Teferi's going to clear the Archon, and then I have to survive a Barragoyf for a while. There is another Surveil land in the deck. And I'm going to chump Barragoyf at least once here. I have enough mana, and I don't want to let them start getting card advantage off the Goyf mills. A block. End step. Hope they don't play Opposition Agent. Hedge Maze. Don't need a Windswept Teeth. Come on, deck. So many good draws. So many good draws. That's not one of them. Okay, plus Teferi. I am not going to attack. I could get 2 damage through, but if they have like Orcish Bowmaster or Removal Spell, I don't want Barragoyf to make it in. Alright, I'll block again. Lose another Hierarch. I'm going to float blue though. Just pretend I have something. Okay, I didn't pretend for very long. Man, I immediately left my mana pool. Bitter Triumph, discarding Archon. Alright, Teferi's gone. Archon's back in the graveyard. Come on, deck. Draw a card. Good cards, please. Draw good cards. That's not them. Okay. Running out of juice here. But it really just takes one good draw to stabilize. Or it takes one good draw to kill me. Yeah, there we go. Yikes. Alright, now Brainstorm's bad. And they get to do Goyf stuff. And I'm now approaching dead. This was a good game, though, considering I got Entomb reanimated on turn 2. But they missed. Don't even know what my outs are at this point. Yeah, it's certainly not that. Okay, GG. Turned out to be thrilling, even though it started out very bad. It ended pretty bad, too, but could have been worse. Okay, so I've got... Can make these bigger. We've got Containment Priest, Veil of Summer, Surgical, Force of Negation. They have a bunch of Ground Pounders. I don't want 2 Armageddons. I don't want any Armageddons, but I'm going to play some, because I have to. Consigned to Memory can come out. That's 2. Dress Down Solid. Teferi, Uro, all good cards. Triumph, pretty solid as well. And I was drawing so alive towards the end of that game. I didn't see a Wasteland. That doesn't mean I don't have them, but I can think about shaving lands, because I am a 20 land deck with 6 mana dorks, but that's because my deck is pretty mana hungry if it's doing its thing. I think I am going to cut Basic Forest. Or no, I'm going to cut Wasteland. What am I doing? 2 Wastelands are out. They showed me no targets for those. I still have 24 mana sources in the deck, and those are out of here. And I gotta cut 1 more card. Force of Negation's a maybe. Like, it's obviously good against Reanimate. Probably just need to play that card. The obvious cut is Armageddon, but I'm going to leave it in for the league. I could shave Loam. Loam is like only good in this matchup if Armageddon. Yeah, I'll back off the Loam. Okay, I'm in. Keep. I'm going to go Tropical Island Delighted Halfling. Or I don't want to play on a Savannah, but Trop also doesn't cast Swords to Plowshares. Alright, I'm going to hope I can figure that out before it's too late. Swamp. I hope they just pass the turn. I don't want to deal with a discard spell right now. Annoying. Okay, I think it's correct to let this resolve, even though, like, they can break up Tamiyo Brainstorm now. They can't take me off Force Blue card either way. Like, I would have to force Pitching Force. Okay. Swords to Plowshares is the take. Interesting. Tamiyo get in. Brainstorm. They could snuff out, but they haven't yet. I'm going to put back land Narset. Play the other land plus Tamiyo. That can get back Plow next turn. Let's game. I'm something of a combo deck myself. Dark Ritual. They know about Force of Will. Dothy Voidwalker. I can answer that. The Bone Zone. Alright. I will counter the Bone Zone with this Ponder, which puts a Force of Will into the Void for them. If I can't play Narset next turn anyway, no, I'll just draw. Okay, get back Swords to Plowshares. Fetch a Tundra. Plow this Voidwalker. Attack for 1. Force of Will still up. Tamiyo still alive. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Orcish Bowmaster. Well, that card kills Tamiyo. I'm just going to go Hellbent and try to game with the Tamiyo. Oh, the Snuff Out. Alright, it's Tamiyo versus the world. Plus Tamiyo, Meticulous Archive, Smoother Out. I don't want a Noble Hierarch right now. Pretty confident in that. Dothy Voidwalker. Tamiyo's currently treading water versus the Voidwalker. Or no, it's net minus. No, I +2 take 2. I could answer the Voidwalker. I think I'd rather tread water against it. Give myself a chance to draw one of the other cards in my deck. Because I could delete the Tamiyo to get back Swords of Plowshares and just deal with the Voidwalker right now. Fatal Push. Alright, that doesn't change anything that's going on here. I'm trying to draw an answer to Voidwalker before they draw additional pressure to help the Voidwalker. Oh, the Bee Storm. The dangerous Bee Storm. Opponent passed. Bowmaster is a card they could conceivably have. I'm going to plus Tamiyo just in case. Alright, deck. Don't fail me. Okay. We didn't quite fail. I'm going to put back Force of Negation and Brainstorm. I'll make my land drop. I can draw Brainstorm next turn and then see some fresh cards. They clearly don't have Bowmaster. They probably have a land or a discard spell, something that's not useful. I have in the void Brainstorm, Force of Will, Misty Reinforced, Delighted Halfling if they want any of those things, but I don't think they can afford to cast a Delighted Halfling and have me have Tamiyo. Ooh, they do think so. Probably going to Brainstorm here would be my guess. Yeah, alright. Looking for some action. That probably means they have, like, Entomb but not Reanimate, or Reanimate but not Entomb, and they're trying to do it all. Or they're just going to Brainstorm for free and then Reanimate their Voidwalker. Lots of options here for the enterprising mono-black creatures gamer. Bowmaster. We don't like that. There is a Brainstorm on top of my deck right now. I guess I don't want that Brainstorm anymore, is what I'm being told. Edge Maze. Ponder. I mean, that's not as bad as Brainstorm. I could minus Tamiyo, get Plow the Bowmaster, cast Ponder, hope to find something. Alright, I think that's fine. Get back my Swords to Plowshares. Plow the Bowmaster, hope there's not a second one in the hand. Ponder. I found a blocker. Oh, this is not going to work. I don't need these lands, though. Shuffle the deck. Oh, Uro. Okay. Starting next turn, that's a gamer, but I do lose Tamiyo. Okay, don't have another Voidwalker, please. They just shipped it. Force blue card versus getting Uro online. I would rather have Uro online, frankly. I'm going to leave up green in case I draw a Mana Dork, rather than wait in case I draw Swords to Plowshares. Alright, land goes in. Now I have a real threat. An Orc army is not going to beat Uro. Dark Ritual. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we casting Archon? Let's go. Okay. That does beat Uro. I'll discard this Force of Will. And we're back to needing a Teferi or a Plow. Okay. I'm out of Surveil lands. Big draws. Easy game. Easy, easy, easy. I'll get Savannah. And then green, green, blue, blue. Uro trigger. I got very lucky and drew Swords to Plowshares off the Uro trigger. Okay. We're back. Back to a head. The original Archon of Cruelty. The Bone Zone, a turn late. And I just exiled all the creatures from my graveyard with Uro. I did that intentionally because the Reanimator deck just... None of my creatures were very good, but they're literally not nothing. Okay, they put Troll under the Bone Zone, but didn't go into the zone. Might be planning to block. And now my deck full of removal pops off. Interesting. Now, when counters are placed on this is when this happens. So if I Plow in response, I could also just let them trade their Troll for Uro and replay Uro. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. I have enough juice in the graveyard here. Okay, you're in the Bone Zone. Teferi Time Raveler. Okay, there's a trade. Their one card in hand would have to be like Fairy Macabre or Surgical for me to care. Come right back. Leaving some spells in the graveyard because there's another Tamiyo in here somewhere. Orion Revealed. I'm excited to cast that at some point in this game if my opponent doesn't concede first. Thoughtseize. Boo. Alright, go ahead. All my cards are good. I could plow the 4/4 in response, but I don't actually care about it. Okay, yeah, the old Thoughtseize can't beat that. I'm out. You love to see it. Okay, lots of little dopes here. In Wrath of the Skies, it's awkward in a deck with 6 mana dorks, which is why I'm not heavy on Wrath of the Skies. I'm just aware of it as a card I could play. I don't think I actually want it. Yeah, my deck already plays pretty well versus a lot of what they're doing, as long as I just have the control half. So if I find myself in chump block mode and losing my hierarchs, or even if I have to use a hierarch to ramp into Wrath of the Skies, I could see that being reasonable. I'm actually going to cut Force of Negation. They clearly have a lot of creatures in their deck, even if they are still an Entomb Reanimate deck. I have a bunch of ways to battle that. Keep. Hand's great. Dark Ritual. Please play Barragoyf. Alright, good, we did it. Just shout out the name of the card that you want them to cast and it'll happen. Okay, I have to fetch Savannah here for all my stuff to work. Savannah, Plow. Let's just be done with that. Voidwalker. That's not free. And especially with Uro in the mix. Halfling, Hierarch. I think getting my stuff down is more important than holding up Containment Priest on this turn. If they had Entomb Reanimate, they would have used it off that Dark Ritual instead of playing Barragoyf. Oh, that's a tough Thoughtseize. Because Dress Down could cheat in the Uro, and now they could break it all up. They also see Containment Priest, which is one of my better cards against half their deck. Yeah, they took the Priest. That's cool. I can't block. Wouldn't if I could. Okay, Flooded Strand lets me dress down Uro right now. Okay, blue, colorless, dress down. Oh fuck, I forgot to float mana! Oh no, I'm such a jackass. Yep, here's this fucking card that doesn't tap for mana now. Nice job, me. God damn it. That was so fucking bad. Alright, well, might get away with it. Yeah, I'm supposed to just float blue for a legend. I noticed it as it was happening. Okay. Hopefully we can recuperate from that. Swords to Plowshares is here to save me. Even though I don't deserve it. No! Swords to Plowshares is not here to save me. I don't deserve it. What a nightmare scenario I find myself in. Okay, I will plow one of these. Gotta start somewhere. And I guess I'll attack for 2. I have another Surveil Land in the deck. Gotta find another removal spell. Then I can sneak Uro through. At least get it in the graveyard where maybe it's useful. Using the Surgical into the Voidwalker is dangerous because if they Surgical my Uros, it's hard to win. I also have Triumph of St. Catherine in this deck that has not been seen yet in 3 games. Hedge Maze. Trigger. Oh. Oh no. I either have to draw this or put it in the void. They can't use this shit. Then they'd be without a creature. Brainstorm. Okay. Well, here I am prepared to lose all of my dorks to an Orcish Bowmaster. Alright, we survived. We got the LOL from playing or dumping the Armageddon. Gotta respect it. Okay, I'm gonna put back Ponder and Surgical. And I'll play Teferi. This can bounce the Voidwalker temporarily. I don't get to cast any spells here. I could force Voidwalker on the way back down, or I could just truck through it. And I exiled all the ones that died already this game, so there's no, like, Surgical to Voidwalker out of the hand. Overlord of the Baelmerk. Sweet. Okay, cool. They found a Barragoyf off of that. Overlord's getting a lot of love. It's recently come up in a modern deck. Right, reanimating Barragoyf. I'm holding this Surgical, might as well use it. Animate Voidwalker. Atraxa is the hand. So hand's kind of donkey right now. And this gives me a window to put Uro in the graveyard. Alright, deck. Let's go. Let's go. Plus Teferi. If I hit a land, Uro actually just comes in right now, so I will lead on that. Green, blue, colorless. Alright. I guess I have to hit a fetch land specifically. Or not a basic Plains. Alright. Well, Uro's not happening here. Okay, hold up Force of Will or cast Ponder. We cast Ponder in this house. Containment Priest, Wrath of the Skies, Lorien Revealed. I will have exactly 5 cards in the graveyard to escape with Uro next turn. I could hold up Force Blue card just in case. though I kind of like casting this Lorien Revealed. Okay, I'm going to take Containment Priest into the grip and attack for 2. Or 1. Attack for 1. I will end up with an Uro here, and basically all in on that Uro, but I'll be there. Voidwalker's here. What's in the void? Oh, multiple Swords to Plowshares, or 1 Swords to Plowshares. Okay, flash in this other priest, draw Lorien Revealed, escape Uro, force blue card back up. Blue, green, green, blue. Uro trigger, finds Wrath of the Skies, we knew that was there. And I'll attack for 3 with Containment Priest. I can't stop this Voidwalker from clearing Teferi, which also puts Teferi in the void. But that's a much later problem. They just played a swamp, 1 unknown in the hand with 2 blanks. Teferi is dead. Long live Teferi. Untapped with Hardcast Force, good to go now. Uro's... It's better to attack with Priest. It's just worth more damage than Exalted is to attack with a 2-power creature. That's math. 1 unknown in the hand. How bad is it for me to send Lorien Revealed? I mean, that sends it into the Dauthi Voidwalker. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Ponder. Narset, we like it. Play Narset. Dig past those 2 lands I don't want. Find Swords to Plowshares from the top rope. Plow that out of here. And now I got the hooks in. We got the GGs. Cool, we did it. Armageddon was technically involved in this game in that my opponent had access to it and chose not to cast it. But Uro was MVP. Living up to half the name of the deck. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw against Magic Dads, a person who has been playing Reanimator the last few times I've run into them. I'm going to keep my hand. I would keep it in the blind, and I'm only kind of blind. We'll see if I get turn 1, if I get discarded. But I do have Swords to Plowshares that, as we saw last game, can outmuscle an Atraxa or Archon. Alright, the option here is play Tamiyo or don't, and I'm going to pass. I could Brainstorm into Emergency Interaction if I need it. I could plow something as well. We'll see. Next turn, I'm going to need to find some lands, though. Targeting me with Unmask. Alright. Pitching Animate Dead. Definitely Reanimator. We'll see if they want the Brainstorm or the Plow. I took the Beestorm. Yeah, if they get, like, Atraxa or Grizzlebrand, Plow barely matters. In Atraxa, it's good against Atraxa. It's bad against Grizzlebrand, and we see a bad land, which means opponent has the whole spread of nonsense available. Right, Grizzlebrand goes to 4. In response, I'll plow it. We're back to 11, and now I'm F6. They saw the Ravages of War off that Unmasked too. My secrets are out. Unmasking me again. Probably take Tamiyo out of this hand. And, oh yeah, that was a good draw. They do have 7 cards in hand after their draw step. But finding that post-unmask is pretty exciting. Come on. I mean, it's reasonable. They just drew 7 cards. I'm still allowed to be disappointed, though. Okay, I took the blue card that would go with Force. That is a workaround. They could reanimate my Uro to draw a card. It dies, but... Okay, now you're unmasking yourself. Just full Reanimator bullshit. Grizzlebrand, Shallow Grave. Okay, so they can draw 14 here. There's the first 7, then you attack, then you get the other 7. If I even get a second 7. Lotus Petals and Dark Rituals could make me dead before then. And the Cabal Therapy in hand can take 2 more cards, and it leaves Grizzlebrand in the graveyard. Shallow Grave exiles Grizzlebrand, but if they sack it to Cabal Therapy first, then it will remain in the graveyard. And I'll be basically doing nothing. And that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is I'm just dead. Dark Ritual. Entomb. Looks like it's the worst case scenario. Traxa. Shallow Grave. Okay. He'll post-combat peak. There's a Borborygmos enraged. So this is actually like a Tin Fins loop kind of thing. Yeah, they're just dumping out more spells. Kept Archon of Cruelty. Here's the Cabal Therapy. They could even target themselves with this and get a reanimate. They still can. Right, taking my prismatic ending. Now they're just insulting me. I guess that actually does answer the animate dead because they can't reanimate from this spot. Right, they're paying me again. Animating the Atraxa. I'm just tired of clicking on stuff. I don't even think I'm like all the way dead here, but I just don't want to click on any more cards. They have a Dark Ritual and Entomb and an Animate Dead. All right. All right. I admit defeat. Okay. In come these cards. Same as last round, except definitely Force Negation this time. Surgical Veil. Consigned to Memory. Kind of tempting here. I boarded it out. I have one in the main that I boarded out last round. I'm considering maybe more in this round. I'll leave one Armageddon. No, I won't. I just can't. Like, obviously that's the meme, but against a all-in Tin Fin style Dark Ritual Reanimator deck, I just can't have a 4-mana sorcery that I wouldn't cast even if I drew it in my life. Plow is fine, Dress Down's fine, Loam's too slow. Triumph to Fairy, Uro. How did my piles get messed up? Okay, I think they're back to normal. I think I can shave a Delighted Halfling here. Do I have room or interest in a second consign? I'm not going to bring in 4. But this does stop Atraxa. Trigger. It stops Animate Dead, a card that we've seen that they play. I don't think I'm interested in that. Even the Null Rod's a little dicey. Force of Vigor also stops Animate Dead. And it does it a lot better than Consign does. I'm not going to bring in Null Rod. If I stop them from having a Grizzlebrand, then I care a lot less about Lotus Petal. And all of those are issues after turn 2, if I expect Null Rod to stop them, or my opponent's trying to go off faster than that. I think I'm going to bring in an extra Consign just because I have the slot open. And if my opponent brings in something like Defense Grid, that's useful there. Okay, no lands, mulligan. Well, I will keep. It is slow and relies heavily on Brainstorm to survive the turn. But it has Containment Priest and Swords of Plowshares in it, both of which are solid cards. And I will lead on Flooded Strand so I have access to Plow, even though that does give up my fetch for Brainstorm. If they like Thoughtseize me, I'll just Brainstorm the Priest away. Raucous Theater. Oh wow. Playing Draw Go. I'll get myself a Meticulous Archive then. That's the one that casts Priest. I actually don't want a third Brainstorm. I have enough of those. Cool. Priest is online. They may have juked. I hope they didn't. Thoughtseize targeting me. Okay. It's time to unleash the Priest. And then F6. Probably going to lose Plow here. Okay, Brainstorm. That meant to mean the Priest is good. If they had a juke plan, they would take the Plow and then just outmuscle the Priest with creatures. If they don't have a juke plan, then taking my Brainstorm to make sure Priest doesn't find any backup makes more sense. Brainstorm. Look at this. I'm going to put back Savannah and one of the Plows. Or do I need Noble Hierarch at this point? I don't think I do. It plays around Edicts. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to fetch a Tropical Island right now and attack for 2. The problem is I don't want to tap out a Veil of Summer, because that protects Priest from most of the things their deck could play. And I have no line to cast the Noble Hierarch if I'm leaving up Veil of Summer for at least 2 turns if I don't shuffle. Ooh, 2 Show and Tells. Okay. Priest is the correct card to have against this deck. Alright, same problem as the Hierarch I just shuffled away. I don't want to tap out a green. It's a Fairy Time Raveler. Again, not tapping out a green. Just give me one more land and I'll start doing this sort of thing. Opponent's playing Draw Go. But the difference is they're dying slowly as they do it. I'll fetch Savannah. I guess I just shouldn't have fetched. What am I even doing? I pre-combat to Fairy, leave up Savannah, which represents both of the cards I could cast here. I'm gonna minus, I just want a card. Force of Will, we're halfway there. Cool. Soloed by Priest. Let's do that again. Now I'm on the draw, everything gets harder. We saw Show and Tell. a card that I already have everything that I have against in. Okay. I will submit my deck. 5 forces, 2 priests. Let's make a game. Yikes. Alright, this hand sucks. The problem is, they're going to discard me anyway. Alright, I will mulligan. Alright, rewarded. I will keep this and bottom. I guess it's Uro? Uro is how I apply pressure, though. Uro is also blue for force, so is Lorien Revealed. Okay. Uro is bad for them to discard, but I have many other cards they could discard first. Okay, Lorien Revealed is out of here. I hope they just send it. Nope, Thoughtseize, naturally. Did take the Surgical. Lotus Petal. Am I dying right now? Faithless Looting. Discarded a Grizzlebrand. I mean, they are getting set up over there. Containment Priest, who is probably going to be too slow, but I will at least deploy what I can. Give me this one turn to breathe. They're fetching. Please play Defense Grid. Play some shit I don't care about. Shallow Grave. Alright, we're very dead. Okay. Grizzlebrand's going to draw 21 cards this turn. And yeah, I mean, Thoughtseize into turn 2 combo on the play. On the draw, I still sneak this out, but that's magic. Grizzlebrand's drawn 14 already. They just gained 7 life. Can send another 7 if they even need them. Down to 2. Unmasking me. Goodbye, Containment Priest. Has anyone ever noticed that it's George W. Bush that Containment Priest is keeping out of play? Yeah, keep him in that little bubble. Okay, I'm getting unmasked again. Still going after me. Exiled Entomb and Reanimate. Oh, wow. Just, I mean, they get to discard 12 cards here. One of them's probably a creature. Let me just rip the other Containment Priest. One-time dealer. I'm using my one-time for the league right now. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. 4 Burrow Ghost attracts a Harvester. Force of Will. I don't think that's going to beat my opponent, but I will put them to 1. This turns off Fetch Lands. They can't reanimate. They do have to animate dead. They can't Thoughtseize. And if they don't win this turn, they die to Noble Hierarch. Dark Ritual could hardcast Unmask. But from 7 cards in hand. Probably could have pitched that if you had it. Wow. Flashback Faithless Looting is what they're doing with Dark Ritual. Did they really just whiff on a draw 21? Discarding another Grizzlebrand and a fetch land that doesn't work. Shallow Grave. No way, Jose. Do we do it? Noble Hierarch beats, let's go! Well, what we've learned is this deck can never lose to Reanimator, and it's a perfectly solid matchup where nothing weird just happened. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 3 against an opponent with Reanimate as their avatar. But I have the best hand that I've had yet against a Reanimator style deck, even though this is just like a prestige avatar. Doesn't necessarily show anything other than that my opponent qualified for an event once. Okay. I think I want Savannah, so I have access to actual white mana, even though that is a little awkward with my double ponder hand. The cool thing about my deck is it looks like Nadu. Whatever my opponent thinks is going to happen, right now, they're wrong. I shuffled with Ponder. I've got a Ponder of my own. Lorien Revealed Uro. I kind of want all these cards. Okay, I will put the Uro in my hand and attack for 1. And then next turn I can cycle Lorien Revealed, then evoke the front of Uro. My opponent might actually be Nadu, though, which is deceitful, because I'm just trying to chill. Okay. I will let this resolve, even though it might be a mistake. I have 2 Force of Wills with which to fight the next round of stuff. If I just lose to Cavern of Souls, I deserve it. A Tropical Island, Trop, Uro. Hope I draw a blue card. Not a blue card. Dump Noble Hierarch. Opponent might correctly identify that I'm not Nadu at this point. Yeah, I should have fought over this Nomad. I'm regretting it now that it's in play. Triumph of St. Catherine finally showing up in my hand, where it is both not blue and cost 5. Welcome to the league, Triumph. There's been 2 of these in my deck the entire time. You just wouldn't know it. Well, Force of Will. Okay, I survived that. Big draws. Okay, that's a big draw. The Force of Will also gives me the 5th card for escaping Uro. Leaving up white, just showing Swords to Plowshares in case I draw one of those. Uro cannot be countered. You could try, though. Please Force of Will this. Please Force of Will this. Ignore this text. We're in. Basic Plains. Okay, I do have another Force of Will. And now they're really under the gun. If they were holding anything back... Okay, now I'm happy I let the Nomad resolve. If they had 2 of those and didn't have protection for the Illusionist, I don't know if we could justify it as a good play, but I am glad with the outcome. It's worth 1 extra damage to play Hierarch first, but I also have sequences of 6 mana that I might want to spend this turn, so I'm not going to play Hierarch. Okay, so here I can now play Hierarch, because I didn't draw Plow, and I'm not going to Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm going to play Hierarch, and then that gives me Hardcast Force plus Pitchcast Force, double Force, while my opponent is taking beats. Alright, land number 3, Nadu's online. Cast Force of Will. Okay, now we're fighting. Force Nadu. Okay, Nadu's in the graveyard. I have not solved this problem yet. Here come the Hierarch beats. Or the Nomad beats. That means they're not blocking. I'm going to attack with Uro first, so I can see all my cards in a straight line this turn, and then I'll ponder afterwards. Love a Swords to Plowshares. Hey, we did it. As always, just say the name of the card you want. It's there. Opponent's at 5. Ponder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hardcast Force of Will. Oh, wait. It's here. We did it. We did it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Count it. Put it on the scoreboard of life. Boo! Game. Yes. All right. We did it. We did it at least once, and it actually won the game. Okay, we're playing against Nadu Breakfast. Containment Priest still works here. Wrath of the Skies is solid. Consigned to Memory is good against Thassa's Oracle, but terrible against Nadu. I am going to shave the Ravages, and I'm actually going to leave Geddon in because this is a deck that we can make that happen. Harbinger of the Seas looks pretty messed up against them. Dress Down plays. I don't really need Loam. It just has not been much of a league for a Life from the Loam. I have 1 Consign already in. Teferi's really good against what they're doing. Narset's pretty mid. I can shave a Triumph. Just a giant beater. I will eventually need a beater to win the game, but I'm bringing in 4 2/2s. They beat well enough. Null Rod turns off Shuko, but they're more a Nomad deck than a Shuko deck. I think I'm going to shave 1 Hierarch on the draw, or do I want the Dorks but don't want the basics? I could cut basic. Oh no, I'm bringing in Harbinger of the Seas. I don't need basic Island if I'm bringing in Harbinger of the Seas. All right. Yeah, I'm going to cut basics before I cut Dorks here. Let's go. Well, immediately spiked the Geddon. I will keep this hand. Prismatic Ending and Wasteland are both reasonable games against what they're doing, their whole setup. And Harbinger, if they don't play around it, could just end the game. Okay, I'm just going to play Hedge Maze here. And the reason for that is I don't want my opponent to see the Wasteland and fetch a basic, which then also makes Harbinger of the Seas worse, even though I think they're going to get a Surveil land here. Like, that's what they want to do, and I want to let them do that, thinking it's okay. I just put a Containment Priest on top if I talked through that. They kept a card on top as well. All right, they got their little donkey boy. Ooh, missed a land drop. I'm going to punish that rather than kill their creature. I can kill their creature too. Next turn. If I had fetched for Mystical Archive last turn, I could have done both here. Or is this Saga? Okay. They might have hidden that from Wasteland, or they might have just drawn it. Yeah, I don't think they would have not played it last turn, if that option was there. Okay, I don't have access to basic planes right now. I can Brainstorm and then Prismatic Ending. I like that. Backup Priest. I'm going to put this Tundra away because I'm about to fetch it. And I'm going to put away Geddon as well. I'm all for the memes, but I think we could do better. I think my hand is currently doing better. Fetch Tundra. End this Nomad. I would not be surprised if this is countered. My opponent kept their hand on the strength of something, and it certainly wasn't their mana base. It's also MTGO, and there's always the possibility that they click through their land drop, but I don't think that happened. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're missing this land drop as well. And now I'm going to fetch Basic Forest. I don't have access to the plains. I can't get the plains, but I can resolve this thing through a counterspell right now, which also kills their last remaining land and puts them on a 10-turn clock. If they force it, it's a 9-turn clock. Okay, 9-turn clock, pitching their Memories Journey. Force pitching. I think I'm going to pitch Lorien Revealed because Dress Down is still a card I can play and is good against their deck in case they ever cast spells. Okay, 2/2 Stone Rain has resolved. And they just shipped it right back. Wow! And that is a 2-for-2 on defeating an opponent with no lands in play. This time it's a flawless victory. This is a screenshot for Twitter for sure. GG's, on to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 4 with a BoshNRoll hand if we've ever seen one. We all know I love having 7 cards in my hand. And this is barely defensible as that. I'm going to mulligan. Oh no, punished! Should have kept the 7. I wish my opponent was a known Oops All Spells gamer, but they're not. We're going to 5 cards. Okay. I'll keep. And I believe Wasteland and Consigned to Memory are the worst cards in this hand. What if they're Eldrazi, though? What if they're Eldrazi or combo? Okay. Wasteland and Dress Down. I'm going to hold on to the Consign, even though I understand that it is risky. But if my opponent sends some turn 1 combo, or they just happen to be an Eldrazi gamer, I'm going to be glad I did this. And they're both blue to pitch to force. That's a wash. A basic forest. Who has a basic forest in their deck in Legacy right now? I do. Is it the mirror match? Did they check my Mox field? I do not want this tropical island. Meticulous Archive trigger. I might want this Brainstorm. I'll pass. Okay, so Basic Forest could be some Cloud Post, crop rotation kind of deck. Like Cradle Control could be Nadu. This is really suspicious, though. Look at this little rabbit. What an adventure it's on. A big cold adventure. Okay. Confirmed it is this shit. Grim Monolith. Well, good thing I put this card in my hand and in my deck. I hope you needed that. Sucks I bought him that Wasteland. Okay, I think green cards are more likely to be useful than white cards this turn. Oh, look who's here. All right, I'm going to put back Swords to Plowshares and Uro. Honestly, ravaging this opponent might be the highlight of my entire life. Okay, I'm going to pass. And I'm not doing anything. I don't have a Mana Dork. I don't have an Uro in play. My opponent has a Wasteland. Oh god, my nemesis! Alright. Well, I might just get wasted out of this game with Ravages of War in my hand. Oh, they went for Cloud Post. Well, the problem is I still can't actually Ravage them because they have a 3/3 in play. A Brainstorm, Life from the Loam, let's go. Put back 2 Prismatic Endings, Life from the Loam, target 3 things. Now they might not Wasteland me at all. if they even think that's a good idea. I'm going to play Tameo. Gotta have something going on when I Ravage. They have 5 mana right now. The One Ring. That card is likely to beat me if I cast Ravages of War, but it's likely to beat me if I don't. Tabernacle, oh my god. Please play a creature, please play a creature. Any creature. Ah, rotating away the Tabernacle. Boring. Boring. Bajuka bogging me. Alright. Well, I guess I have to draw through one of these prismatic endings. Okay, maybe their ring will kill them. Do you smell the cope? Okay. If this prismatic ending was Swords to Plowshares, I'd actually feel kind of okay. But I'm still gonna ram this fucking Ravages of War. Let's go. Who did you think you were messing with? You had no idea. No respect. I'm still gonna lose to this 3-3, but I'm having fun. I would have lost to Cloud Post plus the One Ring anyway. There's a Cloud Post. End step, I'll fetch. I guess I want Tropical Island. Can I afford to play on basics? I don't think so. Draw for turn. Force of Will. Not the worst card I've ever seen in my entire life. Tundra. I'm going to eat this glue. Delighted Halfling. We're gaming. I don't have a 4th color in this deck. I thought about it. Just like 1 Volcanic Island for X equals 4 on Prismatic Ending, plus some action on the sideboard. But opted out, ultimately. Caracas, that even beats my Tameo. The insults, no end. All right, I'm at 3. We're taking the same amount of damage each turn at this point. There are quite a few turns ahead on that than I am. Noble Hierarch. Okay, if I play Hierarch plus Tameo, Hierarch, Tameo, Hierarch can attack. We're dealing damage now. Opponent's at 15. Force of Will actually does change the clock. I'm at a multiple of 3+1 right now. That's probably too good. I just don't want them casting any spells if I can avoid it. Them not casting spells is my game plan right now. And they tapped out a Caracas to do that, which makes me think they don't have an untapped land that could have done that. Are they actually afraid to tap their ring? That would be so sick. Just moral victory. Come on, removal spell, or brainstorm to flip Tameo, something that does something here. Big plays, big plays. Uro. That card gains life. Did you know? Okay, green, blue, colorless, Uro. If this hits a red or a green source to play Halfling, I'm just doing it. Trigger. Basic Forest, we're going off. It's officially happened. We've gone off. The Caracas can check the Uro. And my opponent is also just like drawing as many cards as they want every turn. But now I'm pushing damage thanks to Noble Hierarch. Okay, in you go. This is going to be the funniest game that we lose by a lot. They did not activate the ring. They either don't think they need it or they're too scared of the extra damage. Blast Zone. There goes all my permanents. Okay, they probably don't think they need the extra damage. Would be my guess. Okay, Swords to Plowshares off the top, or a blue source to cast Uro. Plow, 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 plow. Flip Triumph. That would be so sick. Flip Triumph? Oh my goodness. Okay. Basic Island, get in. Uro, get in. I know they have Caracas, but I could draw Wasteland right now. Wasteland right now? Alright, didn't happen. But the Uro is treading water versus the Sowing Myco spawn, and they are taking 3 damage a turn. What an insane game! And they didn't play a land last turn. Oh no, they played the Blast Zone, never mind. They just used it immediately to kill 3 of my permanents. Planar Nexus. Disruptor Flute. They're going to name Uro with this? Maybe they'll misclick and name Caracas. Okay, they named Uro. That means Uro costs 6. That's more than I have. Got a lot of looks at Swords to Plowshares this turn, though. Big Rips. Lorien Revealed. I don't think that gets anything anymore. Okay, I'm going to Ponder first, because that leaves Teferi as something I could do. Tameo. I've drawn 2 cards now. I'm at 2. It's too late. All right, that party's over. I gotta shuffle this. But there is a Savannah still in my deck. Swords to Plowshares. Last time. Tameo. Okay. I'll play Tameo and hope they forget that they have Caracas. What a game! Brought to you by Ravages of War. They remembered. Okay, I'm dead. Sowing Mycospawn. I can never beat that card. Alright, Consigned to Memories coming in. Every card they cast that game that I cared about was colorless. The Harbingers come in. I also bottomed a Wasteland that game. I just didn't know the matchup at the time. Narset is good versus the One Ring. So's Null Rod. Dress Down probably doesn't matter. Prismatic Ending could get some boops and bops like a Pithing Needle or a Disruptor Flute. But mostly, I don't think that card's good. Life from the Loam is definitely good. They don't have a lot of instants. I can shave on Teferi a bit. Do I need both Geddons in? Probably not. If I was going to continue working on Uro-Geddon, I would just play the one Armageddon. Having two is fun for the channel. But if you actually want to take this deck to FNM, I would just play the one. We did see Wasteland in their deck. Force of Negation could be useful, I guess. Saw Graveyard Hate. In the lands package, they definitely have crop rotation. We've seen it. But they may or may not have Elvish Reclaimer as well. I don't think I want Wrath of the Skies. Tamiyo is kind of a win con. And maybe I'll shave a Delighted Halfling. Okay. Let's go. Alright. This is a fast Tamiyo flip that also sees a lot of cards. I'm going to go Trop Tamiyo. If they want to wasteland me, that's fine. I want to wasteland them too. It's a deal. Basic Forest. That could represent a crop rotation for Caracas. But if that's how they want to spend their turn, I'm fine with it. Brainstorm. Force of Will found off that. That's good. I don't need... Lorien Revealed's actually a shuffle here. That's pretty solid. Okay, I'm going to put back Meticulous Archive. I could also just play Meticulous Archive. If I put back Brainstorm Ponder. Okay, Brainstorm... Or no, Land Brainstorm. Land Ponder. Land Ponder. I want the Brainstorm. Okay, Land Ponder, put back. Tamiyo, flip trigger on the stack. They could still try to kill it. Did not do that. Archive, bin the Ponder. I draw a basic island next turn. Okay, I have something going on now. I'm looking for a Geddon or a Harbinger. That's being stage. Grim Monolith. I'm not fighting that shit this game. Narset. Let's shut off the One Ring. Digging for Consigned to Memory. That's better than Ponder. I have a lot of Ponders already. And I'll pass the turn. If they kick a Sowing Mycospawn this turn, that would remove 2 of my lands. I could Force of Will the body. Planar Nexus. Yeah, you love to see it. Have I mentioned Sowing Mycospawn and how much I love this card and how reasonable it is that it even fucking exists at all? Okay. My Trop is gone. Let's see what they're tutoring for. Blast Zone. That kills Narset. I actually am going to force pitching Ponder on this Mycospawn. I just don't want the body around. Okay. Minus Narset. Start there. Consign to Memory, another one. Wasteland being sent to the bottom. Yeah, I'll take another Consign. Blast Zone can kill Tamiyo anyway, so I'm going to use her to buy back this Force of Will. And then Brainstorm. Ooh, Triumph. I like that. Put back Uro and Triumph. Now I have a way to actually win the game. They know the 2 Consigns and the Force are in my hand. They've seen all those off of face-up interactions. Disruptor Flute. I am Consign rich. I'm definitely going to consign that. Consign Flooded. Another Flute. Alright, well, that is annoying because I lose my Triumph, or I could just force this. I'm going to force pitching Lorien. Cloud Post, there is a Planar Nexus in play, so that's worth extra. Okay, it's a miracle. The first appearance of Triumph of St. Catherine. She's in there. I could plus Tamiyo, or I could just delete her to pick up another counterspell, but I want to make them Blast Zone this thing. If she had 4 loyalty, I would just pick up a spell with her and leave her in play. But I want you to have to do this. Wasteland, okay. That's gone. If they kick a Mycospawn, even having Consigned to Memory in my hand is not going to be good enough. They're copying Cloud Post. This is good for 3 now, which is enough to blast my zone if that's what they want to do. Okay, Tamiyo's dead. And I'm going to fetch Hedge Maze in the end step. Let's get a little extra selection going here. Uro straight to the graveyard. Just cast Entomb for free. Wasteland, okay. Interesting. Attack for 5. And I'm going to Wasteland them. I think I go after the Thespian stage. Yeah, that's the like a Cloud Post that does more also. Planar Nexus. Adds 1 mana to the board. The One Ring. This card is annoying. I think I'm going to let them have it, though. I have the Narset, and there are scarier cards in their deck than this versus Narset. Eat my clue in the end step. Yeah, you can sneak a Once Upon a Time through me, through my interaction. They can activate the ring on my turn to draw a card, but after that, they have to activate the ring to draw 1 card, no matter how many burden counters are on it moving forward. They found a Myco Spawn, which I now have consigned with full replication available. They collected their 1 card they're entitled to. 4, 5, 6. Here's the spawn. I'm going for the full sweep. Okay, this one's countering this trigger. We counter this trigger, and we counter this creature. Okay, can I get over with what's left right now? All of my pieces have come in here. The Mana Denial, the Narset, the Triumph. It's all part of the game plan at this time. And blue, blue, green, green. I can at least put Tundra into play here. Leaving Wasteland in the graveyard. I do play Life from the Loam. Didn't draw a blue card. Disappointing. Okay. There are certainly sequences or cards they could play that beat me from here, but I have them dead on board. They didn't activate the One Ring. I'd feel better with Force of Will in my hand, or with Force Blue card in my hand, but I'm in a pretty good spot, all things considered. Karn. 4 mana left over. Just get like Ensnaring Bridge, and then I can never win. Yep. Okay. I boarded out my Prismatic Endings. Am I literally dead? No, I have Teferis in the deck. Okay. And a Sandbagged Caracas, which also deals with Uro. Alright, Teferi off the top. Let's just do it. Null Rod. LOL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of think I'm okay if they tap the One Ring, and I'd rather leave up Force of Will. They probably don't even want to bounce Uro, because that gives me more draws and blue cards in my hand. Okay. Gotta let them die to their own ring here. I have Ugin. Shit. Well, that's gonna kill me, like, immediately. Alright, what are we getting with this thing? Sowing Myco Spawn. And they're casting it. Can't stop the trigger. I can fight the body. I'm not going to, though. Glimmer Post just gains 150 life. Yeah, this game's going to come down to not having a blue card when this Force of Will was checked, was tested. Alright, animated their One Ring. Alright, Teferi. Swords to Plowshares. I'm not going to plow their One Ring. I'm not going to plow anything, actually. I'm just going to pass the turn. This Eye of Ugin's going to go crazy, though. Karn's making a wish. Mycosynth Lattice. Force of Will on that. What was that protecting? And ironically, if they latticed onto a board with Null Rod, I just win from this position. Like, they eventually die to their ring or draw enough cards that I can attack under Ensnaring Bridge. And all of our permanents don't work. They're doing something in my upkeep. 5 mana. Is this a Kozilek's command? It sure is. Alright, they're gonna scry 5 and draw a card and exile my Triumph of St. Cath. They kept 1 on top, sent 4 to the bottom. I did not draw Teferi Time Raveler. I will deploy the Null Rod at this point. It matters against some stuff, it doesn't matter against a lot more stuff. Once they have 4 cards in hand, like, they could bounce Uro now, Sowing Myco Spawn can attack. They played a land instead. They don't want to bounce Uro, which I think is probably correct, not to bounce it. Karn can animate my Null Rod if they have a Dismember. That's something that can happen. Ooh, that's a cool trick. Alright, well, now they have protection from me for the rest of the game if they want it. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to plow that so they couldn't just loot protection, but I have Ugin doing more stuff. Another Myco Spawn. 4 cards in hand, which means when they clear Uro next turn, they're actually attacking. Okay. My Tundra's exiled. Another Glimmer Post gains 5,000 life. Still looking for Teferi Time Raveler. Harbinger of the Seas. LOFing-L. Well, sure. Let's see what this does at this point. Maybe nothing, maybe anything. I don't know. If this somehow gets us back, we're back. It does turn off the Caracas situation, and the Ayavugan situation, and the Looping Wandering situation. Karn's wishing for something. Walking Ballista. This is just a large creature with the Null Rod in play. Okay, they started tapping mana, then changed their mind, it seems. Force of Will. All right. The game continues. I am up 5 minutes on the clock, which I now suddenly think matters. Once Upon a Time resolves. I'm not spending my precious Force of Will on that. I'm looking for removal spells on my Harbinger. That's what I'm going to counter. They have 6 cards in hand right now. There's the Ring. Down to 5 cards. I do have to be careful attacking with Uro, even if I can, because I can't escape him again now. The Re-Harbinging. Harbinger 2. The Re-Harbinging. This does tap me out of Force of Will for a turn. I hope that doesn't kill me. Another Once Upon a Time. Finding Elvish Spirit Guide. That's a creature you can cast. They take 0 from the One Ring. Couldn't take more if they wanted to. Thanks, Null Rod. Gassing up the One Ring as a creature. I can block that with Uro if it attacks. Okay, it is attacking. I mean, it's indestructible. You might as well. You know what else is indestructible? A 6/6. Nothing's that big. They played out the Cloud Post, so Uro cannot attack. Flooded Strand. Yeah, I'll play it. It's fine. And just pass the turn. Beseiju on Null Rod. Well, I can't do anything about that. I would like a land. The Tundra. It's the last one. So the One Ring can be a One Ring now, kind of, except it was tapped as a creature, so never mind. Their lands are still problems. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll Force the Will as Walking Ballista. They did find a good spot for it, though. This is X equals 5, which is enough to kill my Harbingers and leave the Ballista in play to ratchet up every turn. Ooh, nasty. Dirty tricks, dirty tricks. They had it all. Okay. Yeah, they had pretty solid inevitability throughout all of this, but it has all come to a head at this point. And there's no timing where Swords to Plowshares is helpful here. If I had held back the other Harbinger, then I could have plowed here, then replayed the Harbinger and put them back in the squeeze, I guess. Right there. Animating their One Ring again, which will start killing me next turn. But I can't beat this Ballista. So, yeah, I'm dead starting next turn. All right, they killed Narset with the remaining point from Ballista. How about that Teferi? Okay. We made a hell of a fight out of it. There were a couple spots here where if I could see the future, I could have held back the second Harbinger and locked them back out right now. Like this turn, they would be back in the lock. If I just drew Teferi instead of not drawing a Teferi for the last like 8-10 turns, however long we've been playing like this, maybe something could have happened. If I had a blue card on the turn they went for Karn to go with my Force, this game would have been over. But now they're going to win quite easily. Exiling Kozilek's Command, just never using the Caracas, not interested. And now I'm going to take hits in large chunks. This is 10 at a time. Get me dead in 3 turns. I think they can do that in 4 minutes. We'll see if I draw a removal spell. I did draw a removal spell. All right. Well, let's get the One Ring out of here. Oh, they didn't save it with Caracas. That's lucky. I probably should have targeted something else. But now they can just cast Emrakul or whatever it is they got. Oh, they failed to find a colorless creature in their deck with Ayavugan. We have run them out of all their cards. If I can kill these Sowing Myco spawns, we might actually win the game. There's got to be some more shit in the Karn board, though, right? Oh, I just plowed a One Ring. They could play that. Got Tormod Script instead. Oh, if they had let the plow resolve on Walking Ballista instead of killing Narset, then they could have wished for... Alright, they're going to set up a multi-turn line where they Tormod Script themselves and then wish for something big. Yeah, there they go. Okay. So that's a next turn situation. Oh, or it's a right now situation. Yeah, I got nothing here. They can get the Lattice, lock me out, and they can animate Lattice on subsequent turns, do 20 damage, plenty of time. Okay. Yep, we saw everything their deck does that game. What a terrible matchup this is. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round. Positive record locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. I will keep this hand full of cards that are cool. Verdant Catacombs. What's coming out of this? Underground Sea? The usual? Oh no, it's a Bayou. Bayou Ignoble Hierarch. So this is probably Cradle Control. To my knowledge, that's the deck that plays this card in the format. I could just plow this thing. I could try to plow the better things that are going to come out of it. The Hedge Maze not being Tropical Island here actually is pretty devastating. I think I'm just going to play Hedge Maze tapped, and I can double spell next turn. Wasteland, I'll keep that. Wasteland plus Loam actually plays pretty good. Gaia's Cradle. Grist is the card I don't want to see here. White of the Reliquary is fine. And Zenith for 1. Sylvan Safekeeper. Son of a Biscuit. Alright. Well, I'm going to kill the Gaia's Cradle. That's definitely happening. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Wasteland Gaia's Cradle and play Noble Hierarch. Yeah, this Hedge Maze entering tapped just cost me so much here. Like, if I could have Hierarched on 1 and then do all that plus plow this turn, that would be pretty good. Hardcast Once Upon a Time. Opponents have enjoyed that play pattern so far this league. Found another Iggy. My Armageddons look pretty bad here, but my sideboard Wrath of the Skies will look pretty good. I'm taking 1 million damage from this White of the Reliquary. Okay, I can Uro plus Tameo. I think that is the best use of my resources here. Savannah, Uro, Tameo, off of Tundra. My opponent probably has access to Bojuka Bog off their white, but if they start sacking creatures, then Armageddon gets better. Unfortunately, Light from the Loam is also in my hand, so just a passive graveyard thing for Uro is gonna also ranch my hand, and Bojuka Bog it is. There we go. I'm surprised by that outcome. Dryad Arbor. Attack for 4. That's the same size it was last turn. Okay. Now I could start working myself to a situation where maybe Armageddon makes sense to play. Guess I should have played the other Hierarch because I'm likely to do it anyway. And I just missed a damage. Been missing a lot of damage. Loosey-goosey. Delighted Halfling. Noble Hierarch. Yeah, just missed a damage, but I think it's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's just a bleed. But in terms of whether that 1 damage is going to affect the outcome of this game, I don't think is going to be true. I'm either going to stabilize here successfully or not. Because I have enough now that I can Armageddon and then plow the white while they have no lands to protect it. The Lair. Verdant Catacombs. Okay. Just don't kill me this turn. Elvish Reclaimer. Please don't have Natural Order in your hand. Firing up the Lair for 2. Which is only 1 more damage than an Exalted attack would have been, but more damage is still more damage. Gotta get your points where you can get them. I'm going to crack my clue, and then Armageddon is going to come into this game big. There's a land I can sandbag. Okay, here we go. It's time. A 1, a 2, a 3. Armageddon, this game over with. One way to play around Sylvan Safekeeper. We got an interesting in the chat. Yeah, it's weird out here. Buckle up. Alright, yeah, sack all your lands, make your creatures shroudy. That is free for you to do. They're gonna die anyway. I might still lose this game easily, but that is gonna happen anyway. Right, Wasteland, second main. Because White of the Reliquary can sack one of these creatures to get something like Gaia's Cradle and just get back into the game. And I'd prefer if that didn't happen. Okay, 7 damage on board. They do still have Shroud. There's the Gaia's Cradle. I am going to Wasteland it immediately. Yeah, the more creatures they're willing to sack, the harder it becomes to... They just jam basic forest. Alright, yeah, this... White of the Reliquaries might just actually be impossible to kill with Sylvan Safekeeper in play. Okay. My options here are Chump and Draw. Chump and fire the Swords to Plowshares. which they'll just sack their land to protect. Okay, I will block the 5/5 that I have to block. Yeah, it sucks it's not even going to cost them a creature because they had the land. Maybe I'm supposed to just main phase or upkeep Swords to Plowshares. Yep. That has Shroud now. I'm at 3. Yeah, that didn't work out nearly as well as I hoped it would. The Cradle control players are all laughing at me already because they knew how this was going to go. All right. That is suddenly a game object with text. They have to sacrifice Elvish Reclaimer to protect White of the Reliquary here. Okay. Well, I will continue hurling my trash at the wall. Or they could just get the maze, or what is that thing called? The Talon Gates. I mean, that saves it too, but like any land sec protects it, but they could also just Talon's Gate to zoot it out. Yeah, there's that. Oh. Wow. All right. Yeah, tight play. So they're going to phase out my blocker and then sack the land to save their creature and just get me coming and going. Which means that Tamiyo cannot attack this turn, or else I lose. If there's a Karakas in the deck, I lose anyway. If they just attack and then before blocks flip this thing into a Karakas, all right, that didn't happen. Yeah, this whole game brought to you by Hedge Maze coming into play tapped. Windswept Heath. I can fetch to 1, block. These decks usually play 2 Talon Gates, I think. So I can't leave 2 creatures down. All right, I'm going to go to 1 here. Isn't that the same thing? No, they have to sack the Safekeeper. Okay. Fetch, I'm at 1. I need a tropical island to cast Loam with. Get back Wasteland, Savannah, Tundra. Okay, I'm going to pass. And my plan is block Safekeeper with Halfling, block White with Hierarch, draw a card. I think they can also fetch Dryad Arbor. I think they have 2 of those. Fetch Dryad Arbor, flip it into Talon Gates, remove a blocker, I'm at 1. Okay, they're just leaving back the other homie. Okay, block, draw a card, ponder. Not quite what I'm looking for. They might only have 1 Talon Gates the way they've played this game. Only 1 Talon Gates, no Karakas. Oh, alright, well, Dryad Arbor would have been lethal there, so here we are. Oh, if they have another Talon Gates, which is what I'm currently trying to figure out, which I suspect they don't, based on how the game has gone. Ponder. Ravages? Okay. They finally got me. That was a really interesting game. A White of the Reliquary plus Sylvan Safekeeper is basically a hard lock against anyone trying to be point a removal spell at anything. Wrath of the Sky's coming in. That's what I needed to break out this last game. Containment Priest is good. Consigned to Memory. I don't think so. Harbinger of the Seas is solid against what they're doing. I do like my mana dorks. I like Halfling less because they are not a deck with counter spells, and I'm bringing in Wrath of the Skies. I still like Loam, still like Dress Down. Dress Down was the card I needed that game. Like if that last turn, no, I would have needed it before the last turn, but if I could Dress Down to turn off the Safekeeper and plow the White, then I think we're stable and doing fine that game. Consigned to Memory is not without text, but I don't want it. I don't think I need 2 Geddons as usual, even though Geddon did make that game even like close to, like, I wouldn't have even had live draws if the Ravages didn't come up. I was supposed to upkeep that plow after the Ravages though, like them just playing a land from their hand made everything so much worse. That was 3 extra damage I took that turn. Maybe more, because if they were gonna get gates to save it, I don't know. Okay, back to work here. Their deck doesn't draw a lot of cards, but Narset does dig for removal, including the Wrath, the 1 of Wrath in the deck. I don't need basic Island against this deck. That's what I'm going to do. I am down 3 mana sources here, but that's plus a bunch of spells. Let's go. Keep. Sand is good. I'm going to go Savannah Hierarch. I'm just giving a little proactive respect for Choke as a card they might have. A Hierarch from the enemy as well. 1 from me. Okay. I'm just going to represent Containment Priest instead of attacking for 2. Stop. Alright, I am going to force this. I don't want them to know about Containment Priest. Elvish Reclaimer is in. Gaia's Cradle. Please cast Green Sun Zenith. Sylvan Safekeeper. Hate this card. Right, I'll Plow Reclaimer. And are they going to get a Zenith for a 0 in under all this? Oh my god. All right. Remember when my hand looked good 1 second ago? Now it looks like shit. Yeah, Cradle Control's really good at this. I'm not complaining. I'm just expressing how I feel about how this match has gone. All right, I don't need a Lorien Revealed. 1 mana short of that card being good. All right, the third Hierarch. I'm ready to battle. Okay, attack with a Fudge Enormous Monster. I hope their payout for all this is just jamming Natural Order and then losing to Containment Priest. That's my hope for next turn. They're attacking for 2. I am not going to trade Containment Priest for this. I'm just not in a position where spot removal matters. Another Reclaimer. Can we get anything with this Containment Priest? Like, literally anything. Even if they just Thoughtseize me and I go Hellbend and respond, I'd be fine. Scavenging Ooze. Yep, they're just on the mono creature strat. This is RNG. Like, maybe they boarded out some stuff because they know I'm a white deck that might contain Containment Priest. But the fact that their hand was just like all of this and none of the tutor cards, that's not something that you play towards or play around. It just happens that way. All right, I will play the Priest. I'm going to go for mana efficiency here. I get punished for that if I draw Wrath of the Skies, but I'm going to kill thousands of my own creatures no matter what. Okay. I am going to attack with Containment Priest. There's this cool thing that I hope happens here, where if they rotate with Elvish Reclaimer and then sack a land to Sylvan Safekeeper and try to beat the Priest double blocking it with 3/4s, I can make them 1/2s in response. They didn't go for that. Not for a second. Okay, Reclaiming. Got a Lair of the Hydra. I bet if they had more lands, I could have got them on the hook for that line. Yeah, we got him, we got him, we got him. Dryad Arbor went straight to exile. There is no way to put a Dryad Arbor into play with a Containment Priest in Magic the Gathering. You cannot cast Dryad Arbor. I mean, if like I dress down the Priest or, you know, but like this card versus Dryad Arbor, even if you just have it and draw it and play it from your hand, it doesn't work. Okay, they've got a 3/3 Lair of the Hydra. And this becomes XX until end of turn. It doesn't have like a ongoing X ability like a Construct token. Dress down will not kill this here. All right, we are elvishly reclaiming the Cradle away. Get another Dryad Arbor. All right, just get another Cradle out of the deck. All right, this is attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a big attack. Yeah, I need something here. Wrath of the Skies would be hell of a card. Harbinger of the Seas. That's not bad. I'm not sure if it's good, but it's not bad. It turns off at least the Lair of the Hydra from killing me. And then I can get some like dress down trades or dress down eats. If the Reclaimers just attack here, I will kill them both. Here they come. Scavenging Ooze coming with them. Okay. Block, block, and dress down. A solid exchange, though temporary. I'm still behind. And if they have just Beseiju in their hand, okay, the Hierarch's off, so they can't even have that. This Ooze does now have things it could eat, becoming even larger. There's a blue mana in the pool. Yeah, Harbinger still works under dress down. It's bullshit, but it's true. That's not a Moto bug. Removal spell? Not a removal spell. I can counter a spell and I can chump block for a while. That's what I have left to do this game. All right, Harbinger of the Seas, get in there. I'm still attacking for 5. Got that going for me. I'm going to have to start losing Hierarchs, who didn't exile in the end step. That means I don't have to lose a Hierarch this turn, if I'm willing to go to 1. Oh, right, no. Exalted. I do still have to lose a Hierarch. Block, for sure. And every time I chump Ooze, that's more life gain that they can buy time to get through. Basic Forest does still play the game. Harbinger of the Seas attacks for less every time as well. Basic Forest. Now if I draw Uro, I can gain some life. They're eating creatures now. Figured it out. Or I had Hierarchs. I didn't need this forest for any reason. I'm just in the weeds here. Don't worry about me. I'm playing correctly, even if I'm saying words that don't make sense. I wonder at what point it's better to block with Containment Priest. Probably next turn. Yeah, having 5 mana continues to matter. Ponder. Ooh, that card's good. Ponder. Life from the Loam, Brainstorm, another Ponder. None of this is what I want. In like Ponder, I could just take more looks, or I could just shuffle and try to find some goods. I'm going to shuffle. Wasteland doesn't help. Harbinger of the Seas and Containment Priest attack together now. Or this is the turn I'm supposed to block with the Containment Priest. It's worth more damage if I attack with both. Okay. I will block with Hierarch and play this game on blue and green mana. Bonus at 1. They can go to 2, then 3. And then they have to block one of my 2 creatures. And I'm out of white mana now. Block. What can I even draw here? Like another Harbinger of the Seas? It's not that. I do think that Harbinger is more important than Containment Priest right now. But we're going to block. They didn't have to block here. They could have just gained a life. They're going to gain the life anyway, but that does cost them colored mana. This game is sweet. Whatever ends up happening here, I'm having a good time. Have they been sandbagging a second Dried Arbor this whole time? All right, deck. Some spells. Some good spells. Ponder. I'll take it. Uro to Fairy. Wow, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I chump with Harbinger. I have a turn where I do stuff. The Uro just kills, or the Ooze just kills Uro. And Teferi's not a reliable cantrip. I can Uro now. Oh, they don't have green mana. They will next turn. So they're attacking for 5. Oh, I don't have to block now. Oh, wow. All right. This is getting really exciting. Okay, Teferi, Brainstorm, Uro. That basic forest coming in big. Should I attack first? They have 6. I'll be at 7. Will they be on defense if I put them to 1? Or will I just be dead next turn because I didn't block with Harbinger? Do I need my Harbinger to play this game? I might. Okay. Uro. Brainstorm's in my hand now. If I block with Harbinger, I lose Uro. Harbinger can just block next turn, except... Yeah, because they have to leave Safekeeper back. If they rip Basic Forest, I lose. Okay. I'm going for it. I need this to Fairy on if I'm going to clear this Ooze. All right, here we go. It's game time. I might have just conceded, but... Or no. Same thing. No, shit, I did fuck up. If they block this turn, my Harbinger's not dead. But they didn't attack this turn, so I'm not dead either. Okay, no, it all works. It works. Okay. I'll go to my turn. There's Teferi. I can Wasteland them in combat, unlock my cards. I think I want to Brainstorm now. And I think I want to do it off Flooded Strand. Oh, Noble Hierarch just casts Uro next turn. Wow, okay. Or it blocks this turn. This is so exciting. Okay, I'm going to put back Trop and Teferi. And then I'm going to attack, and they have to block. Then I'm going to make a blocker, and then they have to stop. Okay. They've blocked with Sylvan Safekeeper, and they're giving Ooze untargetable, sacking a land. That's great. Noble Hierarch. Now, if you attack, you're dead. And if you don't attack, I cast Uro and you die shortly after. Basic Forest is the draw that ruins my life right now. Cradle's not it. Wow. Oh my god. Now we just flip this shit. Or I could play Teferi and just win. That's probably better. Okay. I'll play Teferi and then just attack for lethal. Bounce the Ooze. Wow. That was one of the best games of Magic I've ever played. That was sweet. Okay. Opponent with the all donkeys. I mean, Containment Priest did eventually win that game because that Dryad Arbor in exile would have been worth a bunch of damage while we were just farting around. So Containment Priest, big help there. And we learned some Magic rules along the way. Okay. I mean, I think my plan's still my plan, but Harbinger of the Seas, MVP. And Sylvan Safekeeper, MVDB. That's most valuable douchebag. I like this. Keep. This is a turn 2 Harbinger, or I can play some interaction before then. Bayou Ignoble. Multiple Harbingers now. I think I'm going to go Trop Hierarch. You don't always have to bolt the bird. I'll be bummed if they play Grist, but I could just Prismatic End it. And then set up for next turn. All right, Snuff Out, the old tempo Snuff Out. White of the Reliquary. Do you have the stupid asshole again? No, okay. My removal spell is actually going to have a home. Ooh, okay. I could Plow plus Hierarch, save the Prismatic Ending, just for mana efficiency's sake. That sets up a better next turn. Yeah, I'm going to Plow plus Noble Hierarch. If I can Harbinger the Seas plus exile their Ignoble Hierarch next turn, that goes a long way. Snuff Out is an interesting object in the deck right now because they're not going to have any swamps if I have Harbinger. So Snuff Out can't actually answer Harbinger. Or they could hard cast it off Ignoble, I guess. But they're not going to have that Ignoble in a moment. Okay, I drew Tameo. I'm going to fetch my basic forest, play my Harbinger, and then Prismatic End this Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, let's hope that makes the game hard enough. And they've got 4 cards in hand and 3 mana available. 2 basic forests. Okay, looks like I'm getting a turn. It just didn't do anything. I like that. I think I'm just going to dump out the squad here. Harbinger, Tameo. Do I think they're going to have Endurance? Okay. I am going to play around Endurance for 1 turn here, because Tameo's giant fat booty doesn't even die to Endurance. Look at this. Look at this! Okay. So this is... They didn't bottom anything from anyone. Let me keep my graveyard is a little spooky. Oh, wow! A basic swamp! I just said they're not going to have one of those. I'm calling the cops. I am prepared to lose to Snuff Out right now, but if I can clear the biggest body out of play, that's fine. Cool. Got him. Alright. That was done. Tameo, you start doing stuff now, please. I think I want to just draw cards and not get cute with anything here. Dress Down is not bad. I could end step Dress Down, which turns off white for their whole turn. I could also trade my Harbinger for their white. I'm going to pass. Dress Down can also flip Tameo next turn. Or, no, it can't, because Tameo won't have any abilities. Cool. Okay. Do I want to take 3? Yeah, this Dress Down has so much juice to it that I am not going to use it now. The Hierarch makes it extra complicated. Okay, speaking of Hierarchs making it extra complicated, the race is on. Tameo, get in. 2/5 flying. I am losing the race, but I'm also outdrawing them. Draw a card. Brainstorm. That flips Tameo now. I want that. Let's get this going. I can dress down an Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, force blue card. Let's go. I'm going to put back Ponder and Dress Down and just leave force blue card in my hand. Plus Tameo and pass. Or I could play this other Tameo as a blocker. No, I'll just pass. End step, deleting the Dryad Arbor for a land. That will be an island. All right, they got a Gaia's Cradle island over there. Yeah, I think I just lose a Hierarch here to protect Tameo. If I get Swords to Plowshares right now, I could force Endurance. Bajuka Bog doesn't stop me. They can't save White of the Reliquary with their tricks. Get back, Swords to Plowshares. They could have targeted me with Endurance earlier and didn't, which is interesting for this Swords to Plowshares right now. All right, Hardcast Snuff Out. Hardcast Force of Will. Pick the Plow up. Plow the white while it's incapable of saving itself. All right, sacking Ignoble Hierarch for another island. All right, Dryad Arbor. And leave back the Harbinger so Dryad Arbor can't finish off Tameo. And I feel good. Ahead, even. They could just shove Natural Order, I guess. That would be pretty brutal. If that's something that they still have access to. The 3 basics is crazy. I'm not surprised by 2 forests, but basic Swamp got me real good. Oh, come on. Don't actually have it. 4 men in the pool. Zenith for 3. Yikes. This is going to be Grist, I guess? Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Interesting. All right. So there's either not a Grist in the deck, or they think my graveyard's that important. My graveyard's not important. Plus Tameo. Ponder. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, team. So they would have a 3-3 versus my board. It's done. It's a done deal. It's happening. Okay. Ponder, Savannah, Armageddon. What a way to end the league. This is all I want in my entire godforsaken life. They can have a 3-3, but I'll have a 0-3 Tameo with the other Tameo buff shrinking it. Ooze eating Hierarch in response. Destroy all lands. Yeah, don't tap that for blue. Tameo. And off we go. I could attack for 3, offer the trade. Yeah, might as well. Yeah, attack for 3, offer the trade. I gotta win this game somehow. I'm drawing Savannah next turn, which represents dress down. The attack's gonna shrink. I have a 0-3 butt to absorb this with. Zoop. Everything lined up just my way. Savannah plus attack for 3. And next turn, I'll revise Swords to Plowshares and be completely stable. We got the GGs. This is certainly one of the matches of Magic that has ever occurred. Wow. I'm really happy that this is on camera. Thank you to everyone who stuck it out to the end of the video, because this was a treat. And we got a 4-1 result with Uro-Geddon. And the Armageddon actually mattered in multiple games. And this card is insanely powerful. Like, it's going to come up if you play enough games where you're in a position to use it. But building your deck with the Mana Dorks and the Loam really helped tie this together from the last time I just kind of shoved Armageddon into a deck that didn't want it. I think 1 is the right number. I think 0 is the right number. But if you're going to play 1, I think it's 1, not 2. I basically boarded 1 out every round, except for the round I boarded out both, because the game was not going to go long enough for it to matter. Yeah, just like cut the Ravages and get another cool spell in the main deck. Maybe another Narset, maybe another Uro, maybe a Prismatic Ending, maybe play a Solitude. I don't know, whatever moves you. Another Lorien Revealed. It's just a flex slot that opens up, but overall, I'm very happy with how this played out, and I'm not going to do a major rebuild because scoreboard. That was a 4-1 result. Bread and butter. Girion, thank you for putting this fever dream into my life. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. If you're running out to buy Armageddons, make sure to do it at toamagic.com. Use code BOSH for 5% off the order. I'll see you next time.